No idea how to do this thing Americans call small talk. It feels like there are secret rules nobody ever taught me.
There are secret rules, and today we're going to teach you every single one of them. Small talk is the social glue of American culture. It's how friendships start. It's how business relationships begin. It's how strangers become people you actually know. And once you master small talk at a cafe or restaurant, every other English conversation in your life becomes easier. I'm Emma.
And I'm David. And guys, if you have ever sat next to an American and had no idea what to say, if you have ever walked away from a conversation feeling like you missed a huge opportunity to connect, if small talk in English feels like the hardest thing in the world right now, subscribe to Ace English Daily right now and drop a comment below. Tell us, has a stranger ever tried to start a conversation with you in English? What happened? We want to hear your story.
Before we dive into the phrases and the drills, I want to make sure we understand exactly what small talk is, because many English learners from cultures where small talk is not common find this concept confusing. They think, why would I talk to a stranger about nothing? What is the point? And that is a fair question. So let me explain the American perspective.
Yes, please, because in my culture, we do not really talk to strangers at cafes. You sit down, you drink your coffee, you leave. Simple.
In American culture, small talk is never really about nothing. It's about something very important. It's about saying, I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm friendly, I'm safe to talk to. It's a social signal, a warmth signal. When an American asks, how's your day going? They're not necessarily asking for a detailed report of your entire day. They're saying, hey, I'm open to connecting with you if you want. And knowing how to respond to that signal and how to send that signal yourself is one of the most valuable social skills you can have in the United States.
So it's less about the words and more about the energy behind the words.
Exactly. The words are the vehicle. The warmth is the message. And today on Ace English Daily, we are going to give you both the exact words and the right energy to deliver them. Now, let us set the scene. You are at a cafe in America. Let us walk through the entire experience from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, step by step, phrase by phrase.
Let us start at the very beginning. You walk into the cafe. What is the very first small talk moment?
The very first moment is with the barista, the person taking your order. In America, the barista almost always greets you with something warm and casual. They might say, hey, how are you doing today? Or, good morning, what can I get started for you? And this is your first small talk opportunity. Most learners just say their order and look away, but watch what happens when you respond warmly. I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Can I get a medium latte, please? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Can I get a medium latte, please? I am doing great. Thanks for asking. Can I get a medium latte, please? Pretty good. It's a beautiful day out there. I'll have a black coffee, please. Pretty good. It's a beautiful day out there. I'll have a black coffee, please. Pretty good. It is a beautiful day out there. I will have a black coffee, please.
It is a beautiful day out there. That tiny addition completely changes the interaction. Suddenly, you're not just a transaction, you're a human being having a moment with another human being.
And that's all small talk really is, tiny human moments. And to our Ace English Daily community watching right now, comment below and tell us, do you usually talk to baristas or cashiers in English, or do you keep quiet? Be honest. We want to know how you feel in those moments, because your answer helps us make better lessons for you. Now, let's talk about the waiting area. You've ordered your coffee, you're waiting, and someone else is waiting next to you. This is one of the most common small talk opportunities in America, and most learners let it pass by in silence. Today, you're going to learn exactly what to say.
This is where I always freeze. You're standing there, the other person is standing there, there's this awkward silence, and I never know if I should speak or not.
Here's the rule. In America, if you're waiting next to someone for more than 30 seconds, a small comment is almost always welcome. Not required, but welcome. And the easiest small talk topics while waiting are the wait time, the weather, the cafe itself, or something in your environment. Watch how natural these sound. Wow, it's really busy in here today, isn't it? Wow, it's really busy in here today, isn't it? Wow, it is really busy in here today, isn't it? I love this place. Have you been here before? I love this place. Have you been here before? I love this place. Have you been here before? That coffee smells amazing. What did you order? That coffee smells amazing. What did you order? That coffee smells amazing. What did you order?
That coffee smells amazing. What did you order? That is so casual and natural, and it immediately gives the other person something fun to respond to, because everyone loves talking about what they ordered.
Everyone loves talking about food and coffee. It is a universal truth. And notice how all three of those openers end with a question. That is the golden rule of small talk. Always end your opening line with a question, because a question invites a response. It opens a door, and the other person can choose to walk through it or not.
So you always give them an easy way to continue the conversation, or an easy way to politely end it. You are never trapping them. You are just opening a door.
Exactly. And that respectful approach is what makes American small talk feel good instead of intrusive. Now, comment below and tell us, which of those three openers would you feel most comfortable using? The busy cafe one, the have you been here before one, or the coffee smells amazing one? Vote below. We read every single comment on Ace English Daily. Now, let us move to the next scenario. You have your coffee, you sit down, maybe at a shared table, or maybe someone you just met at the counter sits near you and the conversation continues. This is where small talk goes a little deeper, and this is where most beginners feel lost because they do not know how to keep the conversation going naturally.
Yes, the first sentence is okay, but then what? How do you keep it going without it feeling awkward or forced?
The secret is what I call the comment plus question formula. You make a warm every language expert agrees on. Confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes from speaking. You do not wait until you're confident to speak. You speak, and that creates the confidence. Every single conversation you have in English, no matter how short, no matter how imperfect, builds a new layer of confidence inside you, like bricks, one by one.
So the action comes first and the feeling follows the action, not the other way around.
Exactly. At Ace English Daily, we call this the confidence loop. You speak, you survive the conversation, you realize it was not as scary as you thought, and next time you speak a little more. And the loop keeps growing. Let us practice this right now with something very simple, because the first brick of confidence is being able to introduce yourself naturally and warmly in English. Hi, my name is David, and I am still learning English, but I love it. Hi, my name is David, and I am still learning English, but I love it. Hi, my name is David, and I am still learning English, but I love it.
Still learning English, but I love it. That phrase is so powerful because it is honest. You are not pretending to be fluent. You are not hiding. You are owning your journey with pride.
And in American culture, that kind of honesty and enthusiasm is deeply respected. Nobody expects you to be perfect, but everyone appreciates genuine effort and a positive attitude. When you say, I am still learning, but I love it, you are not showing weakness, you are showing character. And character is what people remember. Now, let us talk about the 3 biggest confidence killers that are silently destroying your ability to speak English, because until you identify them, you cannot fight them.
3 confidence killers. Okay. What's number 1?
Number 1 is the fear of making grammar mistakes. So many learners believe that every time they make a grammar mistake, native speakers are judging them, silently criticizing every wrong verb tense, every missing article, every confused preposition. David, do you want to know the truth about how Native American speakers actually react to grammar mistakes?
Yes, because I've always imagined them internally laughing at my mistakes.
The truth is, most native speakers do not even notice grammar mistakes in conversation. They are focused on the meaning, on what you are trying to communicate, not on whether you used the past perfect correctly. The only time a grammar mistake matters is if it changes the meaning of what you are saying, and that happens much less often than you think. So release the grammar perfectionism. It is costing you real conversations. I made a mistake, but I kept talking. That is what matters. I made a mistake, but I kept talking. That is what matters. I made a mistake, but I kept talking. That is what matters.
I kept talking. That sentence is the whole lesson in 3 words. Do not stop. Keep going. The conversation values momentum more than perfection.
Number 2 confidence killer, translating in your head. This is when you think in your native language, translate every word into English, and then try to speak. By the time you are ready to say the sentence, the moment has already passed. The conversation has moved on, and you feel left behind and embarrassed.
I did this for so long. I'd be in a conversation and someone would say something, and I would start translating in my head, and by the time I had my answer ready, everyone had already moved to a different topic. It was exhausting.
The solution is to start thinking in English. And I know that sounds impossible right now, but it starts with small things. When you wake up in the morning, say to yourself in English, "Today is going to be a great day." When you eat breakfast, think, "This coffee is delicious." When you look outside, think, "The weather looks nice." Small English thoughts throughout the day train your brain to access English directly without the translation step. I am going to start thinking in English starting today. I am going to start thinking in English starting today. I am going to start thinking in English starting today.
Starting today, not starting when my English is better, not starting when I feel ready, starting today. I love that energy.
Number 3 confidence killer, comparing yourself to native speakers. When you compare your English to someone who has spoken it since birth, you're comparing your chapter 1 to their chapter 30. It is not a fair comparison. It was never a fair comparison, and it never will be. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were 6 months ago, 1 year ago. Are you better than that person? Then you are succeeding. Full stop. I am not comparing myself to native speakers. I am comparing myself to who I was. I am not comparing myself to native speakers. I am comparing myself to who I was. I am not comparing myself to native speakers. I am comparing myself to who I was.
And guys, if those 3 confidence killers just resonated with you, if you recognized yourself in any of those, give this video a like right now. Because liking the video tells us that this content is helping you, and it helps Ace English Daily reach more learners around the world who need this message today.
Now, let us get practical, because understanding the problem is only half the work. The other half is having real tools that you can use today, right now, in your next English conversation. Let us go through the 5 most powerful confidence tools for English beginners.
5 tools. Let's go.
Tool number 1, the power pause.
When someone asks you a question in English and your mind goes blank, do not panic. Do not apologize. Do not say, "Sorry, my English is bad." Simply pause for 1 or 2 seconds. Take a breath and use one of these bridge phrases to buy yourself time while your brain catches up. "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second." "That is a great question. Let me think about that for a second." How do I put this? I think what I want to say is, how do I put this? I think what I want to say is,
How do I put this? That phrase is so natural. Native speakers say it all the time. It shows you're thinking carefully, not that you don't know English, just that you're choosing your words thoughtfully.
Tool number 2, the clarification request. One of the biggest confidence destroyers is when someone speaks too fast or uses a word you do not know and you just nod and pretend you understood. Stop doing that. In American culture, asking for clarification is a sign of intelligence and engagement, not a sign of weakness. These are the phrases you need. "Sorry, could you say that again? I want to make sure I understood." "Sorry, could you say that again? I want to make sure I understood." "Sorry, could you say that again? I want to make sure I understood." Just to clarify, do you mean that? Just to clarify, do you mean that? Just to clarify, do you mean that?
Just to clarify, that phrase makes you sound so professional, like you were paying close attention, like the conversation matters to you, which it does.
Tool number 3, the vocabulary bridge. When you do not know the word for something in English, instead of stopping and going silent, you describe it. You build a bridge with the words you do know. This is what really advanced speakers do when they forget a word. They do not stop, they describe.
Can you show me an example of this?
Of course. Imagine you cannot remember the word umbrella. Instead of going silent, you say, "You know, that thing you open when it rains to stay dry, the long stick with the round top." Your listener instantly knows what you mean. The conversation continues. Your confidence stays intact. "I cannot remember the word, but it is the thing you use to, you know." "I cannot remember the word, but it is the thing you use to, you know." "I cannot remember the word, but it is the thing you use to, you know."
You know, those 2 words are a lifesaver. They invite the other person to help you, and most people are happy to help. Nobody is judging you for not knowing a word.
Tool number 4, the daily confidence ritual. This is something I want every single person listening to Ace English Daily to start doing tomorrow morning. Every morning when you wake up, before you look at your phone, before you drink your coffee, you spend 60 seconds speaking English out loud. To yourself, in the mirror, or just to the room. Describe your day. Describe how you feel. Describe what you see.
Just 60 seconds?
Just 60 seconds, because 60 seconds of speaking English out loud every single morning rewires your brain. It reminds your mouth and your mind that speaking English is something you do, not something you are afraid of. It's a physical act, like stretching before exercise. It warms up your English engine before the real conversations begin. Good morning. Today I'm going to speak English with confidence. Good morning. Today I'm going to speak English with confidence. Good morning. Today I am going to speak English with confidence. I feel a little nervous, but I'm going to try anyway. That is enough. I feel a little nervous, but I'm going to try anyway. That is enough. I feel a little nervous, but I'm going to try anyway. That is enough.
That is enough. Emma, that phrase hit me. I feel nervous, but I'm going to try anyway. That is enough. That's the whole philosophy of language learning in one sentence.
It really is. You do not have to be ready. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to try. And trying is always enough. Tool number 5, the celebration habit. Every time you have a conversation in English, no matter how short, no matter how imperfect, You celebrate it. You say to yourself, I did that. I spoke English today. That was brave. That was progress. Because your brain responds to celebration. When you celebrate a small win, your brain releases dopamine, and it starts associating speaking English with a positive feeling. And that positive feeling makes you want to do it again. I spoke English today. I am proud of myself for trying. I spoke English today. I am proud of myself for trying. I spoke English today. I am proud of myself for trying.
I am proud of myself for trying. Not, I am proud of myself for being perfect. For trying. The bar is trying, and that is completely achievable every single day.
I want to take a moment now and talk directly to every person who has been learning English for a long time and still feels like they are not good enough, still feels like their English is somehow less than what it should be. I see you, and I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are on your own timeline, and your timeline is valid.
Emma, I needed to hear that, because I spent so many years feeling ashamed of my English, feeling like I was not smart enough, not disciplined enough, not talented enough, and none of that was true. I just needed the right environment, the right practice, the right community.
And that is exactly what Ace English Daily is here to be. Your daily English environment, your practice partner, your community. Because language learning is not a solo journey. It was never meant to be. Human beings learn language through connection, through conversation, through showing up every day, even when it is hard. So here is what I want you to do right now. Right this second, pause this video and write one sentence in English in the comments below. One sentence about yourself, your name, where you are from, what your dream is. One sentence. Because that one sentence is the beginning of your confidence.
One sentence. That is your homework. And when you post it in the comments, you are not just practicing English. You are joining a community of thousands of learners around the world who are all on the same journey, who all feel the same fears, who are all choosing to be brave anyway. And that is something to be incredibly proud of. My name is David, I am from Brazil, and my dream is to speak English fluently. My name is David, I am from Brazil, and my dream is to speak English fluently. My name is David, I am from Brazil, and my dream is to speak English fluently.
Beautiful. And guys, every comment you leave, every sentence you write, every question you ask, it helps Ace English Daily grow. It tells YouTube that this content is valuable, that these lessons are changing lives. So please subscribe, leave a comment, share this video with one friend who needs this message today, because your share might be the thing that changes someone else's English journey forever.
Emma, before we close, can we give everyone a complete daily practice routine? Something simple they can start tomorrow.
Absolutely. Here is the Ace English Daily Confidence Routine. 5 minutes every morning. It is simple, it is powerful, and it works. Step 1. 60 seconds of mirror speaking. Say good morning to yourself in English. Describe how you feel. Step 2. Read 2 sentences of English out loud from anything. A book, an article, a social media post. Anything. Just read it out loud. Step 3. Learn 1 new phrase. Not 1 new word. 1 new phrase. Because phrases are how real people speak, not single words in isolation. Every morning I practice English for 5 minutes and it is changing my life. Every morning I practice English for 5 minutes and it is changing my life. Every morning I practice English for 5 minutes and it is changing my life.
5 minutes. That is all. Nobody is too busy for 5 minutes. And those 5 minutes every single day compound over time into real, lasting, unshakable confidence.
And here is the final thing I want to leave you with today. Confidence in English is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to speak in spite of the fear. Every single person you admire who speaks English beautifully, every person whose accent you love, every person whose vocabulary amazes you, they all went through exactly what you are going through right now. They were all afraid, they all made mistakes, they all wanted to give up sometimes. The only difference between them and someone who never learned is that they kept going.
They kept going. That is the secret. Not talent, not perfect grammar, not a special method. Just showing up every day, being brave every day, trying every day. And here at Ace English Daily, we are going to be right here with you every single day, helping you keep going.
And I am so proud of every single one of you who made it to the end of this episode, because making it to the end means you are serious. It means you are committed. It means you are ready. And ready is all you need to be.
Subscribe to Ace English Daily. Hit that like button. Drop your one sentence in the comments right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear this today, and we will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, stay brave, and as always,
Let me ask you something. You wake up in the morning, you make coffee, you go to work, you come home, you eat dinner, you go to sleep. Simple, right? But can you describe all of that in English, naturally, without stopping, without translating in your head? If the answer is no, then this episode of Ace English Daily is exactly what you need today.
Emma, you just described my entire life in 5 sentences. And honestly, I could not say any of that smoothly in English 6 months ago. I would freeze every single time someone asked me, "So what do you do in the morning?"
And that is the most common question you will hear in the United States. At work, at school, at a party, at the gym. Someone always asks, "So, what does your day look like?" And today, right here on Ace English Daily, we are going to make sure you can answer that question like a native speaker. I am Emma.
And I am David. And guys, if you have ever struggled to describe your own life in English, you are in the right place. This is the show that turns your everyday English from basic and boring into natural and confident. Subscribe to Ace English Daily right now and hit that bell so you never miss a lesson. And drop a comment below telling us, what time do you usually wake up in the morning? We want to know our community.
I love that question because everyone has a different answer. Okay, David, let us get into it. The first thing we need to talk about is the language of routine. In American English, when we describe our daily life, we use very specific verbs and phrases that make us sound natural, not textbook, not robotic, natural.
Like what kind of verbs, Emma? Give me an example.
Perfect. Let us start with the morning. In English, we do not say, "I do my wake up." We say, "I wake up." We do not say, "I make my shower." We say, "I take a shower." These small verb choices are what separate a learner from a speaker.
Oh, wow. I used to say I do my breakfast all the time. That sounds so wrong now that I think about it.
You're not alone, David. Almost every English learner makes that mistake. The correct phrase is, "I have breakfast," or "I eat breakfast," or even "I grab breakfast" if you're in a hurry. Let us practice all 3 right now. I have breakfast every morning around 7. I have breakfast every morning around 7. I have breakfast every morning around 7. I usually grab a coffee before I leave the house. I usually grab a coffee before I leave the house. I usually grab a coffee before I leave the house.
I grab a coffee. That sounds so American, like you're in a rush and you just grab it and go.
Exactly! That is the energy of American morning English. People are always moving, always busy, so the language is fast and action-based. Now let us build your full morning routine in English. David, walk me through your morning. Tell me everything you do from the moment you open your eyes.
Okay, so I wake up, I check my phone for like 20 minutes, which I know I should not do. Then I get up, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I get dressed, and then I make coffee, and I sit down for a few minutes before I start work.
That was actually really good, David. You used all the right verbs. wake up, get up, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed, make coffee. These are the core verbs of the American morning routine. Let us lock them in with some drills. I wake up at 6:30 and check my phone.
I wake up at 6:30 and check my phone.
I wake up at 6:30 and check my phone. I take a quick shower and get dressed for work.
I take a quick shower and get dressed for work.
I take a quick shower and get dressed for work.
I love how natural those sound. But Emma, what about connecting these sentences? In real conversation, people do not just list things one by one like a robot. They connect them, right?
Excellent observation, David. That is the next level. In natural American English, we use connector words to make our routine flow like a story. Words like first, then, after that, once I, and as soon as. Let us practice connecting morning actions. First, I make coffee, then I sit down and check my emails.
First, I make coffee, then I sit down and check my emails.
First, I make coffee, then I sit down and check my emails. Once I get dressed, I grab my bag and head out the door.
Once I get dressed, I grab my bag and head out the door.
Once I get dressed, I grab my bag and head out the door.
Head out the door. I love that phrase. It sounds so natural, like you can just picture someone walking out of their apartment in New York.
Exactly. And that is what we want at Ace English Daily. We want you to paint a picture with your words. Now let us move into the workday. This is where most of our listeners spend the majority of their day and where they need the most English confidence.
Yes, this is where I used to panic the most. Someone at work would ask, "How is your day going?" And I would just say, "Good," and nothing else. So awkward.
Oh, I hear that all the time. And the good news is you only need a few powerful phrases to sound completely natural at work. Let us practice them. Instead of just saying good, try saying pretty busy but good, or not too bad, or honestly kind of slow today. These small additions make you sound like a real American. Pretty busy but good, thanks for asking. Pretty busy but good, thanks for asking. Pretty busy but good, thanks for asking. Honestly, kind of slow today, but I'll take it. Honestly, kind of slow today, but I'll take it. Honestly, kind of slow today, but I'll take it.
I'll take it. What does that mean exactly?
Great question. When someone says, "I'll take it" in American English, it means this situation is not perfect, but I am okay with it. I accept it. It is a very casual, very native expression. You will hear it everywhere in the USA.
I'll take it. I'm going to use that tomorrow. What about describing what you actually do at work? How do you talk about your tasks without sounding like you are reading a resume?
This is so important. In real American conversation, we do not say, "I am responsible for the management of client communications." We say, "I handle emails. I deal with clients. I work on projects. I run meetings." Short, active, natural. I handle most of the customer emails in the morning. I handle most of the customer emails in the morning. I handle most of the customer emails in the morning. I usually run a quick team meeting at 9 a.m. I usually run a quick team meeting at 9 a.m. I usually run a quick team meeting at 9 a.m.
Run a meeting, not do a meeting, not make a meeting. Run a meeting. English is so interesting. The verb completely changes the feeling.
You just made a master-level observation, David. The verb is everything in English. It carries the energy of the sentence. Run a meeting feels active and in control. Do a meeting feels flat and unnatural. At Ace English Daily, this is exactly the kind of detail that transforms your English. Now let us talk about the afternoon and lunchtime.
Oh yes, lunch is very important. In the USA, everyone seems to eat lunch at their desk or grab something super fast.
That is so true. Lunch culture in America is very casual. People say things like, I am going to grab a bite, or let us do lunch, or I'm just going to eat at my desk today. Let us practice those. I'm just going to grab a bite near the office. I'm just going to grab a bite near the office. I'm just going to grab a bite near the office. Do you want to do lunch today around noon? Do you want to do lunch today around noon? Do you want to do lunch today around noon?
Do lunch. That is interesting. Not have lunch or eat lunch. Do lunch?
All three are correct, but do lunch in American English carries a slightly social meaning. It implies you are meeting someone, making plans. If you say, let us do lunch, it means let us plan to eat together. It's an invitation. Very American.
So, have lunch is neutral, eat lunch is describing the action, and do lunch is social. That is a beautiful distinction.
Exactly right. And this is why we love Ace English Daily listeners. You pick up on these nuances so fast. Now let us move to the evening. This is where daily life English gets really personal. How you wind down, how you spend your free time, how you connect with people.
The evening is my favorite part. After a long day, I just want to relax. But I never know how to describe what I do in the evening in natural English.
Let us fix that right now. In American English, the evening vocabulary is very rich. We say, I unwind, I decompress, I hang out, I catch up on my shows, I cook dinner, I order in, I go for a walk. All of these paint a picture of real American evening life. After work, I usually just unwind on the couch for a bit. After work, I usually just unwind on the couch for a bit. After work, I usually just unwind on the couch for a bit. I like to cook dinner and catch up on my favorite shows. I like to cook dinner and catch up on my favorite shows.
Catch up on my favorite shows. That is exactly what I do every night. What about when you don't cook? I order food a lot.
Oh, Americans order in all the time. The phrase is, I ordered in tonight, or I'm going to order in. It means you ordered food to be delivered to your home. Very common, very natural. I was too tired to cook, so I just ordered in. I was too tired to cook, so I just ordered in.
I ordered in. Perfect. So simple. What about spending time with friends or family in the evening?
Great! When you spend time with people casually in American English, you hang out. I hung out with my friends last night. We hung out at Sarah's place. We just hang out on weekends. This is one of the most used phrasal verbs in everyday American life.
I hung out with my friends after work yesterday. I hung out with my friends after work yesterday. I hung out with my friends after work yesterday. We just hung out at home and watched a movie. We just hung out at home and watched a movie. We just hung out at home and watched a movie. Hung out, ordered in, grabbed a bite, caught up on shows. I feel like I am building a real vocabulary for real life, not just grammar rules.
That is exactly the Ace English Daily philosophy, David. Real vocabulary for real life, not textbook sentences that nobody actually says. Now, let us talk about one more thing that every English learner struggles with, and that is talking about your weekend. Because Monday morning in America, everyone asks, so how was your weekend?
Oh no, that question used to terrify me. I would just say, it was good, and then look at the floor.
We have all been there. But after today, you are never going to give a one-word answer again. Here's a simple framework for answering that question like a native. Start with a general feeling, then give one specific thing you did, then add a small detail or reaction.
Can you show me an example?
Of course. Instead of just saying, "It was good," try this. "It was really nice, actually. I went hiking with some friends on Saturday, and the weather was perfect." That's it. 3 sentences. General feeling, specific activity, small detail. You sound completely natural.
It was really nice, actually. I spent Saturday at the farmer's market. It was really nice, actually. I spent Saturday at the farmer's market. It was really nice, actually. I spent Saturday at the farmer's market. Pretty relaxing. I just stayed home and caught up on some rest. Pretty relaxing. I just stayed home and caught up on some rest. Pretty relaxing. I just stayed home and caught up on some rest.
Caught up on some rest. I love that. You're using catch up with rest now, not just with shows.
Yes, catch up is a versatile phrasal verb. You catch up on shows, you catch up on sleep, you catch up on work, you catch up with a friend. It means you're doing something you haven't done enough of recently. One verb, many situations. This is how native speakers think.
So the secret is not memorizing thousands of words. It's learning the right verbs and using them in many different situations. Exactly. At ACE English Daily, we call this the power verb approach. A few strong verbs used correctly will always sound more natural than 100 weak words used randomly. Now, let us do our final challenge. I am going to describe a full day in English. You listen carefully, and then you repeat the key phrases.
I am ready. Let us do this.
I woke up around 7, grabbed a coffee, and got ready for work. I handled emails all morning, ran a quick meeting at 10, and then grabbed a bite near the office for lunch. After work, I was pretty tired, so I just ordered in, unwound on the couch, and caught up on my shows. It was a pretty normal day, but honestly, I will take it.
I heard them all. Woke up, grabbed a coffee, got ready, handled emails, ran a meeting, grabbed a bite, ordered in, unwound, cut up, and I will take it at the end. That is a complete American day in under 30 seconds.
And that is exactly what fluency feels like. Not perfect grammar, not fancy words, just the right verbs in the right order flowing naturally from your mouth. Now, I want you to do the same thing. Describe your own day using everything we learned today. You can write it in the comments on ACE English Daily or say it out loud right now wherever you're listening. The practice starts the moment you finish this episode.
And hey, if someone in your life is learning English and struggling to talk about their daily routine, share this episode with them. Be the person who helps them find ACE English Daily, because this community is growing every single day, and we are so grateful for every one of you.
We really are. Before we go, let me leave you with one last thought. The most powerful thing you can do as an English learner is talk about your own life, not someone else's life, not a character in a textbook. Your life, your morning, your job, your weekend. Because when you talk about things that are real to you, the words come faster, the confidence comes easier, and the English starts to feel like yours.
That is the most motivating thing I have heard all week, Emma. Talk about your own life, because your life is already in English, you just have to find the words for it.
Beautifully said, David. And those words, you will find them right here, every single day, on ACE English Daily.
Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and we will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, stay curious, and as always,
you spent weeks preparing your resume. You sent hundreds of applications. And finally, you got the call. You have a job interview at an American company. And then the panic sets in. What do I say when they ask, "Tell me about yourself"? How do I talk about my strengths without sounding arrogant? What do I say when they ask, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" If any of those questions make your heart race right now, this episode of ACE English Daily is going to prepare you completely.
Emma,
I had my first job interview in English 2 years ago, and I completely blanked when they asked me, "Tell me about yourself." I had prepared for everything except that, and it is literally the very first question they always ask.
It is always the first question, and it trips up almost every non-native English speaker because it sounds simple, but it is actually very strategic. Today on Ace English Daily, Emma and David are going to walk you through every major job interview question in American English with the exact phrases, the exact vocabulary, and the exact tone that gets you hired. I am Emma.
And I am David. And guys, whether you are interviewing for your first American job or going for a big promotion, after this episode, you will walk into that interview room with complete confidence. Subscribe to Ace English Daily right now and drop a comment below. Tell us, what industry are you interviewing for? Tech, healthcare, business? We want to know our community.
Let us start with the most important question of every American job interview. Tell me about yourself. This question is not an invitation to tell your life story. It is a 30 to 60-second professional pitch. In America, we call it your elevator pitch. Short, powerful, and memorable.
So what is the perfect structure for answering that question in English?
3 parts. First, your current role or background. Second, your key achievement or strength. Third, why you are excited about this specific opportunity. That is it. 3 sentences, delivered with confidence and a smile.
So no long life story, no starting from when I was a child, just 3 focused sentences.
Exactly. Let us practice the structure with a real example. Listen carefully to the flow. I currently work as a marketing specialist with 5 years of experience. I currently work as a marketing specialist with 5 years of experience. I currently work as a marketing specialist with 5 years of experience. I have a strong background in social media and content strategy. I have a strong background in social media and content strategy. I have a strong background in social media and content strategy. I am really excited about this role because it aligns perfectly with my goals. I am really excited about this role because it aligns perfectly with my goals. I am really excited about this role because it aligns perfectly with my goals.
Aligns perfectly with my goals. That sounds so professional. Not, I want this job because it is good, but it aligns with my goals. The vocabulary completely changes the impression.
That is exactly right. In American job interviews, your vocabulary is your first impression before they even see your work. Words like aligns, leverage, contribute, passionate, driven, results-oriented. These are the power words that American hiring managers love to hear.
What about the strengths and weaknesses question? That one always feels like a trap to me.
It does feel like a trap, but once you understand the formula, it becomes one of your strongest moments in the interview. For strengths, always connect your strength directly to the job. For weaknesses, always name a real weakness and immediately follow it with what you are actively doing to improve it. Never say, I have no weaknesses. That is the worst answer you can give.
I once said I work too hard as my weakness. I thought I was being clever.
Oh, David, that is the most classic mistake in interview history. Hiring managers hear that every single day, and it immediately tells them you are not being genuine. Let us practice a real, honest, and strategic answer. One of my greatest strengths is my ability to stay calm under pressure. One of my greatest strengths is my ability to stay calm under pressure. One of my greatest strengths is my ability to stay calm under pressure. I tend to overthink, but I have been working on setting clear deadlines for myself. I tend to overthink, but I have been working on setting clear deadlines for myself. I tend to overthink, but I have been working on setting clear deadlines for myself.
I tend to overthink. That's honest. And then immediately you show that you are working on it. So you are self-aware and proactive. That is a strong answer.
Encouraging and proactive. Those are 2 qualities every American employer wants to see. Write those words down. At Ace English Daily, we don't just teach you phrases. We teach you how to think in English the way Americans think in a professional context.
What about the question, why do you want to work for us? Because if I'm honest, sometimes I just need the job, but I can't say that.
You absolutely cannot say that. This question is really asking, did you do your research? Do you actually care about our company?
In America, employers want to feel that you chose them specifically, not just any company, them. So you always do 3 things before the interview. Research the company mission, find one recent achievement or news about them, and connect it to your own values.
So you are showing that you are interested in the company, not just the paycheck.
Exactly. Let us practice a powerful answer to this question. I have been following your company for a while, and I really admire your mission. I have been following your company for a while, and I really admire your mission. I have been following your company for a while, and I really admire your mission. Your recent expansion into international markets really caught my attention. Your recent expansion into international markets really caught my attention. Your recent expansion into international markets really caught my attention. I believe my skills in data analysis would contribute directly to your growth. I believe my skills in data analysis would contribute directly to your growth. I believe my skills in data analysis would contribute directly to your growth. Contribute directly to your growth. That is powerful. You are not just asking for something, you are offering something. You are showing your value before they even hire you. That is the mindset shift that changes everything in an American job interview. Stop thinking about what you want from the company. Start thinking about what you bring to the company. That one shift will transform every answer you give. Okay, the question that scared me the most, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I never know what to say because I genuinely do not know where I will be in 5 years. Nobody does, David. And the good news is, they don't actually expect you to have a perfect 5-year plan. What they want to hear is that you are ambitious, that you are committed to growing, and that you see a future at their company. You don't need to give a specific job title. You need to show direction and drive. So what does a great answer sound like? Something like this. In 5 years, I see myself growing into a leadership role within this company. In 5 years, I see myself growing into a leadership role within this company. In 5 years, I see myself growing into a leadership role within this company. I am really focused on developing my skills and taking on more responsibility over time. I am really focused on developing my skills and taking on more responsibility over time. I am really focused on developing my skills and taking on more responsibility over time. Taking on more responsibility. That phrase tells the employer you are not just here to collect a paycheck. You want to grow. You want to lead. You are in it for the long term. Exactly. And long-term commitment is something American employers value enormously because hiring and training someone is expensive. They want someone who is going to stay, grow, and contribute. So when you say, I see myself growing within this company, you're speaking directly to their biggest concern.
What about the salary question? Because in many cultures, we do not talk about money directly. But in America, it seems like it comes up in every interview.
In America, the salary conversation is completely normal and professional. The key is to always give a range, never a single number. And always research the market rate before the interview, so your range is realistic. You can also use a very powerful technique called the redirect, where you ask them for their budget first.
The redirect. Show me how that works.
Of course. Instead of giving a number immediately, you say this. I am open to discussing compensation. Could you share the budgeted range for this role? I am open to discussing compensation. Could you share the budgeted range for this role? I am open to discussing compensation. Could you share the budgeted range for this role? Based on my research and experience, I am looking for something in the range of X to Y. Based on my research and experience, I am looking for something in the range of X to Y. Based on my research and experience, I am looking for something in the range of X to Y.
I am open to discussing compensation. That phrase makes you sound confident but not demanding. You are not desperate, but you are not rigid either.
Professional and flexible. Those two qualities together make you a very attractive candidate. Now, let us talk about the end of the interview, because most people forget that the closing of the interview is just as important as the opening.
The end? Usually they ask,
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes, and this is where so many candidates make a huge mistake. They say, "No, I think you covered everything." And that immediately tells the interviewer you are not deeply interested. In America, asking smart questions at the end of an interview shows curiosity, preparation, and genuine interest. Always prepare 2 or 3 questions in advance.
What kind of questions should I ask?
Questions that show you are already thinking about being part of the team, not questions about vacation days or salary. Save those for later. Ask about the role, the team, the culture, or the company direction. What does success look like in this role after the first 90 days? What does success look like in this role after the first 90 days? What does success look like in this role after the first 90 days? How would you describe the team culture here? How would you describe the team culture here? How would you describe the team culture here? What do you enjoy most about working at this company? What do you enjoy most about working at this company? What do you enjoy most about working at this company?
That last one is so smart. You are asking the interviewer about their own experience. People love talking about themselves, and suddenly the energy of the interview shifts.
Exactly. You turn the interview into a conversation. And in America, the best interviews always feel like a two-way conversation. Not an interrogation, not a performance, a genuine exchange between two professionals who might work together.
Okay, Emma, final challenge. Full mock interview. You ask the questions, and I answer using everything we learned today.
All right, David, you are interviewing for a marketing manager position at a tech company in San Francisco. Ready? Tell me about yourself.
I currently work as a digital marketing specialist with 4 years of experience in content strategy and social media. I have a strong track record of growing brand awareness, and I am really excited about this role because it aligns perfectly with my passion for tech and innovation.
Perfect. Clean, confident, structured. Now, what is your greatest weakness?
I tend to be a perfectionist with my work, which sometimes slows me down, but I have been actively working on setting clear time limits for tasks so that I deliver quality work on schedule.
Excellent. Honest, self-aware, and solution-focused. Now the big one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself growing into a senior leadership role within this company. I am focused on developing my strategic skills and taking on more responsibility as I contribute to the team's growth.
David, that was a complete professional answer to every single question. You used aligns perfectly, track record, self-aware, contribute to growth, taking on more responsibility. You sound like you belong in that interview room right now.
And that is what Ace English Daily does for you guys. 6 months ago, I would have frozen on the very first question. Today, I can walk through an entire American job interview with confidence, and you can too. All you need is the right preparation and the right phrases.
And the right practice, because preparation without practice is just information. You need to say these phrases out loud, repeat them in the mirror, record yourself on your phone, because the moment you hear yourself saying these words with confidence, that is the moment everything changes. We believe in you, and we will be here every single day on Ace English Daily to help you get that job.
Subscribe to Ace English Daily. Hit the like button, share this video with someone who has a job interview coming up, and we will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, stay confident, and as always,
Picture this. You just landed at JFK Airport in New York City, or maybe LAX in Los Angeles. You are exhausted from your flight. Your bags are heavy, and suddenly, an airport agent walks up to you and says, "Can I see your boarding pass and ID, please?" Does your brain freeze? Do you panic? Do you pretend you did not hear them? If the answer is yes, this episode of Ace English Daily is going to save your life the next time you travel to the United States.
Emma, I literally did all 3 of those things the first time I arrived at an American airport. I froze, I panicked, and then I just handed over my passport and said nothing because I did not know what to say. It was so embarrassing.
And you are not alone, David. The airport is one of the most stressful places for English learners. Everything is fast, everything is official, and you feel like every word matters. But here is the truth. The English you need at an American airport is actually very simple. You just need the right phrases at the right moment. And today on Ace English Daily, we are going to give you exactly that. I am Emma.
And I am David.
And guys, whether you're traveling to New York, Los Angeles, Miami, or Chicago, after this episode, you will walk through any American airport with complete confidence. Subscribe to Ace English Daily right now and drop a comment below telling us which American city are you planning to visit. We want to know.
I love that question. Let us get into it. We are going to walk through the entire airport experience together, step by step, from the moment you arrive at the terminal all the way to boarding your flight. And at every step, I am going to give you the exact phrases you need. Real American English. Natural, confident, ready to use.
Okay, Emma, let's start at the very beginning. You arrive at JFK or LAX. What is the first thing that happens?
The very first thing is check-in, either at the self-service kiosk or at the airline counter. At the counter, the agent will greet you and ask for your documents. The most common thing they say is, "Can I have your passport and booking confirmation, please?" Or, "Are you checking any bags today?"
Checking bags. That means putting your suitcase in the cargo, right? Not carrying it on the plane with you?
Exactly. In American airport English, checking a bag means you are giving your luggage to the airline to put in the cargo hold. Your carry-on is the bag you keep with you on the plane. These two terms are essential. Let us practice them right now. I have one bag to check and one carry-on. I have one bag to check and one carry-on. I have one bag to check and one carry-on. I would like a window seat, please, if available. I would like a window seat, please, if available. I would like a window seat, please, if available.
Window seat. Aisle seat. I always forget which one is which in English.
Easy way to remember. Window seat is next to the window. You can look outside. Aisle seat is next to the aisle, the walkway in the middle of the plane. Middle seat is, well, nobody's favorite.
That is so true. What if my seat assignment is wrong or I want to change something at check-in?
Great question. Americans are very direct at airport counters. You simply say, "Is it possible to change my seat?" Or, "Is there an upgrade available?" Or, "I am traveling with my family. Can we sit together?" Short, polite, direct. Is it possible to get seats together for my family? Is it possible to get seats together for my family? Is it possible to get seats together for my family? Is there any upgrade available for this flight? Is there any upgrade available for this flight? Is there any upgrade available for this flight?
Those sound so professional. Not nervous at all, just calm and direct.
That is the goal, calm and direct. At an American airport, confidence is everything. Even if you are nervous inside, your words will carry you through. Now let us move to the next step, baggage drop and luggage rules, because this is where a lot of travelers get surprised.
Oh yes, the overweight bag situation. I had this happen to me once at LAX. The agent told me my bag was overweight and I had no idea what she was saying. I just smiled and nodded. It was not a good moment.
We have all been there, so let us make sure that never happens to you again. If your bag is overweight, the agent will say, "Your bag exceeds the weight limit," or "There is an overweight fee for this bag," and you need to be ready to respond. How much is the overweight fee for this bag? How much is the overweight fee for this bag? How much is the overweight fee for this bag? Can I move some items to my carry-on to reduce the weight? Can I move some items to my carry-on to reduce the weight? Can I move some items to my carry-on to reduce the weight?
That second one is so smart. Instead of just paying the fee, you ask if you can move things around. Very practical.
Exactly. And most agents at American airports appreciate when passengers are prepared and polite. It makes their job easier. Now subscribe to Ace English Daily if you want to keep learning practical English like this every single day. And tell us in the comments, have you ever had an overweight bag situation at an airport? We want to hear your story.
Okay, after check-in comes the part that stresses me out the most, security. The TSA line at JFK is no joke.
TSA stands for Transportation Security Administration. They are the security officers at every American airport. And yes, the lines can be long, but the language you need there is actually very simple. They will say things like, "Please remove your shoes and belt. Place all liquids in a clear bag. Put your laptop in a separate bin. Step through the scanner, please."
And what if the scanner beeps? Because that has happened to me and I completely panicked.
If the scanner beeps, stay calm. The agent will say, "Please step to the side, sir," or "I need to do a quick pat down."
And you simply say, "Of course, no problem," or "Sure, go ahead." Never argue, never panic, just stay calm and cooperate. "Of course, no problem. What do you need me to do?" "Of course, no problem. What do you need me to do?"
Of course, no problem. What do you need me to do?
"I think it might be my belt buckle. Should I remove it?"
I think it might be my belt buckle.
"Should I remove it?"
I think it might be my belt buckle. Should I remove it?
Those phrases make you sound so calm and in control, even in a stressful situation.
That is the power of preparation. When you have the words ready, the situation does not control you. You control the situation. Now let us move past security and into the terminal. This is where things get a little more relaxed. You have time to breathe, time to find your gate, time to grab something to eat.
Finding the gate. That is another challenge. American airports are enormous. LAX, JFK, O'Hare in Chicago, they are like small cities.
They really are. And the signage is everywhere, but it can still be confusing. If you need help finding your gate, you simply approach an airport staff member and say, "Excuse me, can you tell me where gate B42 is?" Or, "Which terminal is the Delta flight to Miami departing from?" "Excuse me, can you tell me where gate B42 is?" "Excuse me, can you tell me where gate B42 is?" "Excuse me, can you tell me where gate B42 is?" "Which terminal does American Airlines depart from?" "Which terminal does American Airlines depart